when wives tend to click up and go, okay, well, I won't talk to her because she's a second, third, or fourth wife, and I'm just going to speak to the initial wives and be friends with them. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. It's Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of the new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Now, in this video, I want to discuss another important topic. We love to do that here on our channel because it's good to have these open conversations. There's not too many places you can do that at and not face this backlash and this judgment or whatever the case may be. With that, I might face some, but that's okay. I know how to handle it. This video is called First Wife's Club of Chaos. Now, it's speaking to, what I want to speak to specifically is this cancel culture of subsequent wives. And what I'm finding is that oftentimes, not all, I don't like generalizations, but oftentimes there's a white knighting of the initial wife. Now, remember, she's the one that's supposed to be there. She's the legal wife, because just as a reminder, there's a difference between legal and lawful. I won't get into that in this video, but I have addressed it. Some people like to use this situation of polygyny and say, well, look, she's supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. I hate that you exist as a subsequent wife. You don't matter. The initial wife, I had somebody ask me, was I in charge of myself and my co-wife, Coach Nyla? I'm like, there's no hierarchy of co-wives here. We're on an equal playing field, so to speak. We both have rights. We both have individual marriages that we're in monogamously with Coach Nazir, meaning I don't have a physical romantic relationship with my co-wife. He's married to us both, and he's the one that practices polygyny, which is the practice of having more than one wife. Now, but I noticed that I've been asked that question of, well, aren't you the head wife? Or aren't you the one in charge? Don't you call the shots? Doesn't he have to come to you for permission? And he does not. Your co-wife should have asked you to marry him, which she does not have to do that at all. That's not required of her at all. Now, with that being said, though, although this is a little bit different, there are some initial wives that do help their husband find another wife to marry. I did not do that. I would never do that because I believe that's a very intimate decision that a man has to make for himself, knowing his current circumstances, situation, current marriages, specific decision-making process that he has as an individual. So just because my husband has a set of responsibilities, it's not identical to the man that is next to him or the husband that is next to him. I have not met one brother in the 20 plus years that I've been doing coaching have the same marriage, the same situation, the same set of circumstances and responsibilities. They're all different, very, very different. And I just want to stress that because there's no cookie cutter polygyny or poly-family within polygyny. So it's when we look at other families that are in monogamy, we go, well, why aren't they identical to the one next to them? They have a different set of needs. They have a different set of responsibilities. The son-daughter ratio, the how many wives does he have, that matters. And everybody is different. So I don't have the need for little tiny baby newborn clothes and education on little tiny newborns and different things like that, because my baby is 11. So he's 11 years old. Now, that's not to say that I'm not a grandmother and I don't have grandchildren, because I do, but I have prior knowledge of newborn and early childhood needs and the things that have to keep, those people of that age group or babies of that age group sustained in a healthy way. So, but me, I don't know. I'm good. I don't desire to have any more children. That's not my desire. However, I understand that, my husband, his youngest child is not just 11. He does have a son that's much younger than that. So my responsibilities are different. Now, in the realm of co-wife to co-wife, and making one the hero and one the villain is what I'm speaking to in this specific video. Subsequent wives have taken on a lot of other people's pain, not just their own. And initial wives we have as well, but it's quite different when people just say, look, you're not supposed to be here.
Assalamu alaikum, peace. I'm Coach Fatimah, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships. And I'm here to talk to you about the Nourishing Fulfillment Counseling Program. What I do is help women from all walks of life obtain information in the areas of relationship wellness, emotional resilience, self-confidence, and inner discovery for best results for their future success. Growth is about implementation for best practices, for best results for your future. So the Nourishing Fulfillment Counseling Program is here for you to help you kind of weed through some of those negative thoughts of self-limiting beliefs so that you can move forward and attain your goals so that you live a truly fulfilling life. So if you want to join me for my Nourishing Fulfillment Counseling Program, be sure that you visit me at CoachFatimah.com for details and start your Nourishing Fulfillment Counseling session today. I'll see you and I look forward to working with you. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
You're not supposed to be married to this man. You're not qualified. You're not good enough. There's something wrong with you. You're mentally ill. You must be desperate. Oh, you needed the help. Oh, she must be sick, meaning the initial wife. There must be some type of deficiency in her that's why you're here. Now this makes sense to me. We'll allow it. No, not at all. So when wives tend to click up and go, okay, well, I won't talk to her because she's a second, third, or fourth wife, and I'm just going to speak to the initial wives and be friends with them. That can become problematic because then you're just only seeing your experience and what it's meant to you. Part of my growth was understanding my co-wife's experience when the time was right, when it was appropriate, when I felt like, I said, you know what, Fatimah, this has to happen. You need to have a meeting of the minds and just get to know each other. So what I did, my co-wife first, she actually reached out to me and she said, you know what, before my nerves get the best of me, and I'm thinking, I'm just a normal human being and I don't want to be the source of her nervousness. Now, I didn't have any control over that, but I understood why she felt intimidated and nervous and, it might have been a ball of nerves or whatever it was for her. And I said, I'm going to make a picnic basket lunch for us. And she doesn't like condiments. She doesn't like ketchup and mustard and mayo. So I made this very skeletal sandwich for her. And I put the greens in a bag, and then I put like tomatoes in a bag, and then I put her bread, and then put the meats, and then I said the cheeses, and then I said then she could just put it together for herself because I didn't know her enough. Now I can make her a sandwich with my eyes closed and one hand tied behind my back because I know her like that. Shout out to Coach Nyla, but I know her. So like, oh no, I know what she'd want on a sandwich, honey, because I learned, but I was willing to, and you don't have to. However, I felt as though it was healthy for our family that we not be so incredibly distant from each other and not speak at all. And that was more my fault than her. She was willing and able and ready. And I wasn't ready to hear it because I really felt like she was someone that was for our husband. I didn't have a dog in the fight. I said, well, you know, that's his business. It's not mine. I know why I said it. That I'll keep for myself, but I know why I did make that decision. And I honestly wanted to just get to know where she had come from, siblings, how she was raised, how did she develop an interest in polygyny. And I know those things now because I had a conversation with her. I had many conversations with her actually about it. And it wasn't, you know, we just talked about all the good time. No, we talked about some things that were challenges for us. And then we found out that we were challenged by some of the same things. You know, and it was outside of our control. Many of those things were outside of our control. And the things that we could control in our communication, we did. And we just had a really honest conversation and allowed each other to speak and have a voice. But in that taught me, I don't want to be part of a mean girl clique and create this chaos where I'm grouping up with nothing other than initial wives and being really bitter about my experience and gossiping about it and you know, connecting on a negative level. Now, I'm all for initial wives and subsequent wives coming together, talking about their challenges and keeping an intimate circle or whatever the case may be and saying, look, how can I work through this the best way? What can I do, you know, for myself, for others? What can I do, you know, to get some understanding? But this, I ain't never talked to me, I don't like her, and be this, and homewrecker that, and throwing all these, and hurling all these insults. I don't want to be part of the initial wife, co-wife clique and mean girl group. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a part of that. There's a maturity that it developed in me. And I said, I want to know the world of subsequent wives from their experience, what it's been like for them. And let's come to understanding that this is not easy for anyone.